Have you ever made a choice that looked perfect on the surface but turned out to be a massive mistake? Today, we're diving into an ancient story that's surprisingly relevant, Genesis 13, where two men face a choice that will echo through history.
And what's fascinating is how this story captures something we all face, the tension between what looks good right now and what's actually better in the long run.
So let's start at the beginning. We've got Abraham returning from Egypt. What's the significance of this moment?
Well, this is actually a moment of spiritual restoration. The text shows us Abraham returning specifically to Bethel, where he had previously built an altar.
An altar? So this is more than just a geographical return?
Exactly. He's not just coming back to a place, he's coming back to a practice of worship. It's about spiritual renewal after a challenging time in Egypt.
That's interesting. So it's like a reset button on his spiritual journey?
Precisely. But here's where things get complicated. Both Abraham and his nephew Lot have become quite wealthy.
Wealthy enough to cause problems, I'm guessing?
Yeah, their success actually creates a crisis. The land simply can't support both of their households and all their livestock in the same area.
So what happens? Do they fight it out?
That's where Abraham's character really shines. Instead of asserting his rights as the elder, he takes the path of peace.
Wait, he had the right to choose first?
Absolutely. But he says something remarkable to Lot. We are brethren. He prioritizes relationship over rights.
That's pretty countercultural, even by today's standards.
It really is. And he goes even further. He gives Lot first choice of the land. Think about that. He's the elder, the leader, but he lets the younger man choose first.
So what does Lot do with this opportunity?
This is where we see the contrast. Lot looks around and chooses what appears best to his eyes, the well-watered plain of Jordan.
Sounds reasonable. Who wouldn't want the fertile land?
But here's the catch. He's choosing based purely on what he can see. And the text specifically mentions he's moving near Sodom.
I'm sensing that's not going to end well.
Right. He's making a choice based on immediate appearance without considering the spiritual implications.
So what happens with Abraham after Lot makes his choice?
This is where it gets really interesting. God tells Abraham to lift up his eyes and look around.
Just like Lot did?
Similar action, but with a crucial difference. While Lot looked with human sight, Abraham is being shown a divine vision.
What does God show him?
God promises him all the land he can see, in every direction, and descendants as numerous as the dust of the earth.
That's quite a promise, especially since he just gave away first choice to Lot.
Exactly. It's like God is saying, your generosity hasn't cost you anything, I'm giving you everything anyway.
But Abraham doesn't just sit there with the promise, does he?
No, and this is crucial. God tells him to walk through the land. It's about active faith, not passive receiving.
So he's physically claiming what God promised?
Yes, and notice what he does. He settles in Hebron and builds another altar. He's marking his journey with worship.
It's interesting how this pattern of altar building keeps showing up.
It's his spiritual signature, if you will. Each altar is like a milestone in his journey of faith.
You know what strikes me? The contrast between Lot's immediate gratification and Abraham's long-term vision.
Absolutely. Lot chose what looked good. Abraham trusted what God said would be good.
And I imagine that's a choice we all face in different ways.
Right. Do we make decisions based on what we can see right now, or do we factor in the bigger picture?
Speaking of the bigger picture, let's talk about how this affected their futures.
Well, Lot's choice of settling near Sodom eventually leads to some serious consequences.
While Abraham's choice leads to
the fulfillment of God's promises, though not immediately. It required patience and faith.
You mentioned earlier about the geographical significance of Bethel. Can you expand on that?
Bethel was a crucial ancient worship site. Its very name means house of God.
So Abraham's return there wasn't random?
Not at all. He was deliberately reconnecting with his spiritual foundations.
Let's talk about these herdsman conflicts. Were they common in that time?
Very common in nomadic societies. Water and grazing rights were crucial issues.
Which makes Abraham's peaceful solution even more remarkable?
Exactly. He chose peace over rights, relationship over resources.
You know what's fascinating? The way Abraham physically walked the land.
Yes. It's this beautiful picture of faith in action, literally putting feet to his beliefs.
And building altars along the way?
It's like he's leaving spiritual landmarks, marking his journey of faith.
So what can we learn from this ancient family drama?
I think it teaches us about the power of choices, not just what we choose, but how we choose.
And the importance of looking beyond the surface?
Exactly. Sometimes what looks best at first glance isn't best in the long run.
Plus, the value of maintaining peace in difficult situations.
And the courage to trust in promises we can't yet see.
It's amazing how relevant this ancient story still is.
Because human nature hasn't changed, we still face the same basic choices between sight and faith.
Between immediate gratification and long-term vision.
between asserting our rights and pursuing peace.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Co-Pilot Podcasts. Remember, sometimes the best choice isn't the most obvious one.
And sometimes, like Abraham, you have to walk through the promise before you see its fulfillment.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through Genesis 13. Until next time, keep looking beyond what your eyes can see.